Hello guys, and thank you so much for watching and tuning in today, tonight, or whichever time you're deciding to watch this reading right now. I appreciate you. For those of you that are new, I'm Levitating, Lotus Healing. For those of you that are returning, welcome back and thank you. I appreciate you, okay? This is going to be a general reading for the collective overall. Happy New Year to all of you. I'm going to say the fuckery that we've been subjected to over the last year, including the beginning of this year, is something else. But I will say that 2020 was a year that implemented the shift. Okay, and the shift is going to continue until the shift is done. So I want you guys to be mindful that 2021 is not going to be a bounce back year. Okay, it's going to be a year of change. It's going to be a year of more shifts and more changes. But please do not feel overwhelmed by the fuckery that a lot of us have to be subjected to, as far as the media is concerned, as far as the shit that you see, as far as the shit that you deal with in your physical reality, because it's all an attempt to get you out of place with yourself. It's all an attempt to get you caught up in the confusion and in the chaos that they love to feed on and build on. Okay, like I always say, a parasite always needs to host. So stay focused on your purpose, stay focused on why you're here, and be observant of what's really going on versus how it appears to be. Okay, because you know, it's a lot of bullshit and it's a lot of other important implemented shifts that are needed, and these things are not going to these shifts are going to continue until the shifts are done, where everything is brought back into its divine order and proper place. We live in the world of illusion, so anybody can make anything look like anything. So I encourage you to stay as positive as you can, as balanced as you can, as centered as you can, as unbothered as you can when it comes to a lot of stuff that really tries to entice and encourage anger and rage and confusion and sadness within you. No, you know what I mean? So I encourage you guys to stay committed to your higher thought, action, effort, and intention. I'm speaking this to myself as well. And you're going to see exactly what you're dealing with. And you're not going to feel overwhelmed with what you're actually seeing, because you already know what's actually, or what's really going on. Okay? So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into this general reading, y'all. And I hope that you guys get some type of resonance, some type of encouraging message of some kind through these oracles that I read with tonight. And yeah, okay, that's pretty much it. I hope that it resonates with you. If the message doesn't, it just simply means that it's not your message. Okay, but yeah, y'all know. Those of you who know, y'all know, and for those of you that don't know, you just heard me. You know, just it's a shift. 2020 was a shift that implemented many shifts, and these shifts are going to continue. You know, and they're going to look ridiculous. They're going to look crazy. It's going to be like what the F type of moments. But, you know, just stay aware and observant, you know what I mean, of everything actually versus what it physically appears to be, or what it visually is stimulating you to feel. Because I'm gonna say this real quick. There are certain things that could be shown to us, and there are certain things that we could see that could really entice certain energy that takes us away from our divinity, that really removes and blocks us from the real insight and awareness of what we're supposed to have, or where we're supposed to be when it comes to dealing or seeing a situation like that, or situations like these. Okay, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah. Okay, all right. Y'all know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You feel it, I'm sure. Okay. Okay. All right. I already prayed before, so I'm gonna get into the general reading. It's been a minute. I haven't uploaded in a minute. Just taking some time out, you know, to just deal with me, experience my life. There are some changes that have happened for me. There are some changes that are still taking place, and you know, I'm riding the wave and making the most of it, while allowing myself to know that, you know, it's all for a greater purpose. You know, like I say, and that's the most positive way I can say it. But experiencing it all the time is not easy. That's why I encourage myself, and I encourage you to just remain as positive as you can, you know, and as balanced as you can, and as clear with your insight. Have a crystal pristine perception and insight and awareness about people, about this reality, Okay, because this is the world of illusion. They have mastered the art of illusion. Also, as well as what you're seeing from your television too. Okay. And what the fuck they love to talk about and get you to talking about and get you caught up in, you know, the fuckery, the bullshit, the shit show. Okay. These motherfuckers are literally running on fumes. They running on fumes. They're I'm getting kind of irritated right now. They running almost empty. That motherfucking bag is empty. They don't have anything else to entertain us with. They don't have any bullshit else. They don't have any other bullshit to pull out of their ass. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, okay. So let me go ahead and get into this reading. Excuse me, y'all. I just kind of, you know, gotta vent a little bit. Gotta, you know, say what I gotta say, what I feel. So. Alright, let me get into it. Divine, I asked the first oracle to come through. Thank you. Eternal now. Okay. So, and what came after that, or what came in the second place, is Dark Night of the Soul. I'm really encouraged by this internal now, right now, for you guys, because this internal now is about you understanding that life is so much more than what it physically is right now. Your experience, your purpose, your path. And not to say that this has any less meaning, but you know that there's a far greater meaning to everything that you're doing, everything that you're a part of, everything that you're becoming, everything that's manifesting and happening for you right now at this present moment in time. Okay, eternal now is almost like it's like a wish fulfillment of your soul. Okay, your soul's fulfillment. That's what that means. Okay, if you notice how this man or how this guide is sort of like doing that, this is sort of like the magic that's being, the divine magic, the divine power, the divine glory and grace that's being blown on you to make you immortal. And you are immortal. Your soul is immortal. It never dies. So it only takes a different form, a different shape, or reaches higher dimensions, you know. So this is the promise of that. Okay, eternal now. So wherever you are in life right now, as long as you are focused on being in your path, being in your purpose, being where you're supposed to be, focusing on your highest form of self, you will always be granted this beautiful divine gift of being eternal forever and for always. Okay, at this current state, I feel like this is the current state for a lot of us. Okay, dark night of the soul. Okay, shadow work, dealing with your demons, tussling with them, figuring them out. Okay, learning what the triggers are, learning what the glitches are, learning what makes what tick, you know what I mean, about you, and how to fix that, how to correct that, how to make that less negative, how to make that less impactful on your life, to where it's taking your frequency down, it's taking you out of your element, it's taking you out of your alignment. Okay, this is allowing yourself to release the burdens. Okay, this is also learning what your burdens are and learning how you in some way, shape, or form attach yourself to these burdens, because sometimes we can feel so attached to our depression, we can feel so attached to our anxiety, our nervousness, we can feel so attached to our anger, we can feel so attached to what we think our personality traits are, when it's not really a personality trait. It's just trauma that we sort of wrapped an emotion around, in a way, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's sort of like when we allow ourselves to deal with that and to know that and to figure that out and to know where that stems from, that's when we heal ourselves. That's when we break up the blockage. That's when we are no longer attached to our old ways of thinking, our old negative ways of talking and communicating with ourselves and with others. We don't put ourselves or take ourselves through that anymore. You know what I'm saying? When you, it's almost like shadow work. Okay, I could give an example like this. Just say, for instance, if you have a rowdy dog, or some form of a rowdy animal, like a real wild animal that you really can't contain, and you feed it, you know, whatever, but you really don't, you're not really its master. It's more so in control of you. That's what this is. That's where this is needed and necessary. The shadow work is needed and necessary for the collective. Okay, this is a general reading, but it's like when you learn how to train and master, and how that animal is that animal, and how to actually train that animal. When you tell that animal, when that animal starts to get rowdy and starts to get wild and growling and barking or howling or whatever, and you say, shut up, be quiet, sit, no. When you say that, that animal has no choice but to do exactly what you commanded it to do. This is the power that you are encouraged to have. This is the power that you will eventually have over your darker side, over your shadow, over the things that you feel are so much more powerful than you. Okay, like I said, sometimes we can feel so attached to the lower parts of ourselves because we wrap that trauma around those emotions and those feelings and those experiences, but that's not really who we are. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we've coped with the bullshit, you know. So when you allow yourself to really release the pressure, release the burden, and really dig deep inside that wound and find out what it is, that's when you're able to give it away. That's when you're able to release it. And if you notice at the very bottom, I'm not sure if you can see it, hopefully you can see it well enough, but at the very bottom you see this woman. She has her head sort of like leaning down. She's leaned down into her chest. Her head is into her chest, and these sort of like ripples are coming out the back of her neck and her upper back, and there's a being above her that's sort of taking all that energy in and sort of like ascending that energy up so that it can be transformed and transmuted. You know, that's why I said releasing the burden, releasing the anguish and the grief and the anger and the confusion, all of that shit. You know what I mean? Like I said, the stuff that we attach ourselves to, the stuff that we allow ourselves to be attached to because it affected us so much, or it implemented so much of a change that we actually think that who we are is our actual personality, but in actuality it's your shadow. In actuality it's your shadow that you really are still in the process of mastering or gaining control of or healing. You know what I mean? In whichever way, in whichever part that you in whichever part of the process that you are in right now when it comes to your shadow work. But it's needed and necessary in order for you to be your best. You know, if you're not in control of your heavier side or your darker side or your shadows, and if you're not doing your shadow work, and if you're not allowing it to hurt and then understand what it means and fixing it in the proper and appropriate way to where it's no longer having control, and it's no longer having control over your life and over your emotions and thoughts, then this work is still needed, you know. But it's beautiful work. It's not easy. It's not easy work to do, but it's beautiful work. At the end of it, you realize that once you actually see that, oh, there is another side to depression, there's another side to anxiety, there's another side to anger, there's another side to sadness, there's another side to low self-esteem, there's an opposite and even more equal and powerful perspective of these emotions and feelings and shit. So you're encouraged to continue to do your shadow work as you are continuing, as you are encouraged to do that. You are also, as this first oracle comes out, you're encouraged to continue to do that by knowing that everything that you're currently experiencing right now is for a purpose, and it's very vital, and it's very important, and it's very paramount to your path, to your purpose and who you are, and it makes you immortal. It makes you immortal. It makes you eternal. Okay, so eternal now, shadow work. That's the answer. To be eternal now, it's your shadow work that you got to overcome or work through at this current moment in time. Okay, that resonates for me. I hope that resonates for some of y'all too. All right, Divine, ask for the next oracle. Thank you. Past life activation. Okay, dark night of the soul here, and then you got past life activation that falls in the third place. You have to, like I said, clean up your shadows, master them, understand them, in a way, befriend them, know who they are, know what they are, know where they come from, so that if at any time you feel overwhelmed by them and you say enough, be quiet, that's it. You know what I mean? because there are certain powers, gifts, skills, and abilities that you have to tap into that you're currently learning right now at this moment in time. Some of you have already done your shadow work. Some of you are still, and we're never done doing our shadow work, but sometimes when we're in the very beginning stages of doing it, sometimes we can be in the real fight of it, in the real thick of it. You know what I'm saying? But what falls in the third place is past life activation. And this has everything to do with your skills, gifts, and abilities, multidimensionally, divinely, what you have within you that can break curses, that can break cycles, that can uplift yourself, uplift your family, humanity overall. Okay, the animals, the earth, the elements, everything. You know what I'm saying? This is tapping into your divine powers, your sacred abilities, your sacred, powerful healing powers. Okay, that's what that is. Some of you could be seeing things of the past that for some reason it registers for you, it resonates for you, and you don't even remember living back then. You don't even remember being present at that moment in time, but for some reason you're connected to it. For some reason it speaks to you. For some reason, you know, you're drawn to it. That's a part of your past life activation. That's a part of your divine sacred power that you have to unlock and unleash through the process of your shadow work, through the process of you understanding who you are from an opposite place of your lower self.